Welcome back. Today, using some fabric, bias tape, pattern pieces, Velcro, scissors, pins, and a sewing machine, you can make your very own shirt for an 18-inch doll. For this pattern, I'm going to be going with a cotton fabric. You could use really whatever fabric you would like. You could make it kind of silky, you could use a flannel fabric, really just kind of whatever you have on hand. The bias tape is what we're going to be using to give our shirt a nice collar. If you don't have any bias tape, we're going to be putting a link up in this corner for you to show you how you could actually make your own bias tape. For this, you're going to be using around a 1/4 inch bias tape, and you're going to want around 15 inches or so. The Velcro is what's going to be holding our shirt closed, so when you put it onto your doll. For this, I ended up using this like 1-inch square Velcro, and I cut it in half, so I only used one of these squares, but it was 2 small rectangles. Now for your pattern pieces. There's going to be 4 pattern pieces for this outfit. They're all going to be online, available on our blog for free. You're going to have the front of your shirt, you're going to have 2 pieces for the back of your shirt, and then you're going to have 1 piece that'll be for the sleeve. So you're going to cut out 1 piece of fabric, 1 piece of fabric, 1 piece of fabric, and then you're going to cut out 2 pieces of fabric for your sleeve. Once you have everything cut out, you're going to be ready to begin. So let's go. So now I have the pieces of my shirt all cut out. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take a hem on the actual shirt as well as the sleeves. So what I'm going to do is get to the bottom of the shirt. I'm going to make sure that I have the right side facing down. So this is the right side of my fabric and it's facing down, so wrong side up. And I'm going to take a hem at the bottom by just folding this up, pinning it, and I'm going to sew across. So if you watch the video on how to make a circle skirt, which I'll put the link at the top of this video as well, you would see that we took a hem in that video as well. So I'm going to do the same for the 3 pieces of the shirt. And then for both sleeves on this long edge, I'm going to take a hem as well. So I'm just going to pin this so that the right side is down, so wrong side up. And then I'm going to pin it across around a 1/4 inch. So one step that I add is kind of like a little check is to make sure that my shirt is actually the same size so far. So when I take this hem and I sew through it, I don't want it to have an uneven shirt. So what I'll do is I'll lay the pieces on top of each other to see if when I sew this together, if I sewed it along this side, are the pieces going to match up? And it looks like these ones are going to. So I'll do this with my other piece as a little check, and then I will start hemming across the bottom. Now that I have the seam complete for my shirt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 sleeve pieces and I'm going to have them right side up, and I'm going to fold it on top of itself so that right sides are together, and I'm going to pin across right here. I'm going to end up sewing this, and this is what's going to be our sleeve for our shirt. Now I've lined up my pieces of the actual shirt so the right sides are together, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin across right here. I'm going to take a pin so that the straps are matching, and then I'll pin also over here. And I'm going to sew this up, and this will be the actual pieces of our shirt. And then when the sleeves are done, we'll be able to attach the sleeves. Before I begin attaching the sleeves to my shirt, I'm going to go ahead and iron out my shirt and press the seams open so it's easier to attach the sleeves. With that, I will probably also try to press the seams open on the sleeve so that everything is easier to attach. Now I'm going to attach my sleeve to my shirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the wrong side of the fabric facing up, and I'm going to have my sleeve still turned inside out. And I'm going to match up the top of the sleeve with the top of the shirt, the armhole, and I'm going to have the bottom matched. And I'm going to pin this all the way around so that the right sides are together on my sleeve and on my armhole. I'm going to then repeat this for the second sleeve as well. So now I'm going to repeat this for the second sleeve. Before we begin, I'm going to make a similar note as I made in the video when we made the 18-inch doll skirt. It's going to be very difficult to sew the sleeve on as it could catch. So what you're going to want to do is just go around the seam very slowly and really be sure that you're not catching the rest of the shirt in this seam because it's the circle. So now that I have my sleeves attached to my shirt, I'm just going to go through and trim up all the loose thread. We are getting near the final steps on our shirt, so what we're going to be doing now is folding in the edges on the sides of the shirt. So when we have our shirt, what we're going to be doing is there's going to be Velcro that's going to be attaching it on the back. So what I'm doing is just folding it in so that I can take a hem along here so that we don't have any raw edges on the back of the shirt. So I'll do the same on this side, and now I'm just going to take a hem right across here. Now that the hem's complete, I'm going to trim up the loose thread and then begin on the next step. So now I only have 2 steps left. One of the things I need to deal with is the raw edge around the collar. So in some patterns you deal with this at the beginning, but I ended up using bias tape or fabric tape to kind of give the shirt a little bit more design. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my bias tape and I'm going around and putting it at the edge of this raw edge. And I'm going to make a seam right along the bias tape. So what this ends up doing is covers up the raw edge and provides some color. So now that I'm at the end, what I did was I folded the bias tape in on itself. And then I'm just going to pin this at the end of my fabric. And it will be all ready to go. So this is now what my shirt will end up looking like. On to the final step of our shirt. I really like how the bias tape looks. Kind of gives it a little collar detail. So on the back, you have 2 pieces of fabric. The right side, we're going to be putting Velcro onto your right piece's right side. So there's going to be, for me, 2 pieces are going to go here. And then I'm going to put 2 pieces onto the wrong side of my left piece of fabric so that when it comes over, it will connect. I'm going to be using these squares, so I'm just going to cut them out. And I'm going to put kind of the rougher side, I'm going to put 1 square here and 1 here. And then for the smoother side of my Velcro, I'm going to put 1 square here and 1 square here. This Velcro is already kind of sticky, which will kind of give me a good way to keep it in place, and then I'm going to sew over it just so that I make sure it doesn't come off. So now when I'm putting the Velcro on to make sure that it attaches, what I do is I actually have it stick to itself. So then this is like the sticky side of my Velcro. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the shirt over and push it down. That way I make sure it lines up correctly. Now I'm just going to sew a square around each piece of Velcro to make sure that it stays in place. Now that my Velcro is all sewn on, my shirt is complete. So it's nice and sticky and you're able to easily open and close it so that it can stay on your doll. Overall, I feel like this is a really great project. It gives you a lot of new skills in sewing that you may not have had before. So you get to have some practice sewing on curves. The smaller pieces allow you to really make sure that you know what you're doing and that you can sew closely to the curve of the fabric. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos on how to sew, be sure to check out the other videos on our channel. This was the second part of our series on how to sew clothes for an 18-inch doll. The first being how to sew a skirt, and we'll have the link for that in the top corner here. And if you'd like to see more patterns and videos just like this, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel.